Welcome everybody, I am the YouTuber here and we're going to talk about MLB The Show tutorial video on the college. Remember how I show you how I get the colleges in there? This is the second part of the video. Once you get the rosters, team uniforms all set up and the way you want, the way it either should be or the way either that or the way you want it to be. Then it's time to get the rosters done, and so what I do is I go in to the roster in franchise mode. Once we get into franchise mode, once we get all set up and we're into franchise mode, you want to do this. You want to simulate spring training. There's no spring training in college baseball. It makes the season go later, but whatever. And then you go in. So once you're in the roster, you're gonna see this, and you're gonna go in and hit on every player. So I've already hit on Troy Launch. I'll show you just with the players. You hit here. You hit general. You see it, names, last name, and first name can be edited. And then after that, you go on the next player, and you check each player like that. If you get a player, and we'll come across one eventually, that will be uneditable. We're getting ready to come across one right now. Fernando Tatis Jr., which is the MLB The Show 21 cover player. He is a player in the game. He's a Major League player. Yes, he's selected for their quote-unquote AAA team since this is Major League Baseball. So what you're going to do for those players like that, you're going to hit player options, go down here to release player. It'll say if you place Fernando Tatis Jr., he'll be on, is not claimed, you required to play, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay, and then it says he'll go in bridge. What you want to do is you want players like this to be you want players on your roster that are editable, so you can change the roster each year. So you can be using the same teams each year. It just that you're changing the roster from last year's roster to the current roster. Some players would stay the same because some players are going to be like a junior the next year, or a sophomore the next year, or a senior the next year. And the only ones you'll be changing them are the ones who are graduated freshmen and getting that all changed out. So you're just going to let him become a free agent because you're going to select the control. First of all, I suggest you don't have to do this, but this makes it the easiest and the most accurate. We don't do this every single is you're going to control your team. That way you have complete control over free agency, trading, roster moves, okay. That's what you want to do. with it. That way, because you're not gonna be doing trades, you're not gonna be doing free agency, you're not gonna be doing that. You're just gonna be editing the roster. So basically, getting the draft players you are going to. What you're gonna do when you get to the draft, since it is a MLB game, and the MLB schedules and scheduling and all that with college teams and players. What you're gonna do when you get to that is go ahead and draft the players that you're gonna draft. Once you get there, you can basically either one of two options. A, keep them on your team, even though it's not an edited player, or maybe it is, I don't know. Or release them like you're doing with this. Why I had thrown in an option of keeping them is basically instead of a draft, you're basically calling it recruiting. Because in other college games, you'd have recruiting. So we have to recruit players. They're coming in, and then you can add the players left to the players. Or you can keep them and say, "Oh, this is the player I recruited." Plus add the players that they have the team in real life has recruited, and you put them in the game. So you're just gonna go on in every player, and if you can add their name. They're a player you keep on the team, no matter who their name is. And you go and do that for every single player on the roster. If you run into a player who is not editable, I'll show you what you'll get. Hopefully we'll get a player like that. You'll get this. You'll have, the only thing you can add is his number, his position, whether he throws right or left, or what if he bats if he's a position player. And that's it. So on those type of players like that, you're gonna hit release. When you draft players, those will be the NFL players you can get rid of those players once you have them on there already on your team and signed with your team. You can later on release them, or you can keep them saying that was the player you recruited, because basically, technically, they are coming out of college, so they haven't been a pro player, or for that much, even a real player. So you're just gonna say it's been a recruited player, because even if you have the ability to import a real draft class, you have to find out which player is from what college, if any, and then, you know, so I think it's better to leave it as a default where you have the generic named players and saying, okay, this is a guy I recruited, instead of saying this is a guy I drafted for the college level of playing. So I don't know if I can remember if I checked this guy. So that's what I do with when it comes to that. You're with the players you're releasing now. You're just in this particular instance, when you go through all 30 teams, you're going to do this for all 30 teams. So that way, when you're playing the game, it doesn't matter if you're playing one team the whole entire season, or controlling all the teams and playing this and that game, or playing it where you play one game from each game. You get a chance to play all the games throughout the whole season. That's going to take a while, but if you want to do that, that's fine. But that makes it where the roster is good and you're not having an MLB player on your roster that is going to be at a higher skill level than the college created players. The reason why you want, and also another reason why you would want it, is because you need to be able to edit your players to get the it doesn't matter if they're MLB, AAA, or single A or double A. You can only have 26 players on your MLB roster. It says 25 right now for them, but that's okay because you can take a player from AAA, AA, single A to the Major League roster and let him play for a certain game and then take him down or keep him up there. You can mess with the roster however you want to as far as lineups. If you want a certain lineup for this series and then a certain lineup for this series, or multiple lineups for a series, that's fine. You can even edit the players that can be edited. And put a player in there that now it's down to 23. That's okay. It'll be all right. I think it's also good to do this in spring training as well, so that way you don't have to reset it. All it just does is reset to 26. That's probably what you want to do, is do this in spring training and then select spring training. Because then all basically is doing is sending some players from the major leagues down to the minor leagues, and it gets it balanced out again. I didn't do that with every team. I only did that with I think one or two teams. And did I do this guy? I think I did. Yeah. If you can see this, that like I did with that Washburn guy or this guy here, Will Wilkerson. If you can edit him, that's fine. If they don't have an audio name, they're gonna go with announcing their number. I mean, it's going to take a while to do this. My suggestion is to keep it all in order. That way you know what you've done and haven't done yet. As far as this, you can do this all in one day if you want. It'll take a while, but you could do it in one day, or you can do a certain set yourself a goal and say, I'm gonna do these number of players or teams a day, and then you're gonna, once you've saved the franchise, you don't have to. Let me make sure this the one I was. This was the one I was doing. Okay, yeah. If you want to do, if you want to do a certain number of players. Not a certain number of players, a certain number of teams is what I'm trying to say. A day. I suggest you do this in spring training. I didn't, and that was. But once it's all done, you don't have to worry about it. From here on out. All you have to do is just know the roster for that team, and if it's your favorite team, then that's probably easier to do than others. But sometimes, maybe and maybe not. Depends upon how well you know particular teams, or if you're basically a follower of college baseball in general. Then you can know the rosters, or if you're not as familiar with some of the rosters, then just look up each player's roster for that year, so you by this time you already have the teams you have, so you know what teams you're going to look up as far as who's currently on their roster at a particular time. So it's a matter of just looking at the team's roster. It's a lot better to do this in spring training than in the regular season. That way you don't have to be worrying about and all the numbers are. I'll show you a team I did it in spring training. Versus a team I didn't do in spring training. Eventually here. And if you want a particular person, if he's not an eligible player, and you want to say, oh, yeah, but then that really he has been there on the team for until you release him off the team. That's fine if you can't edit him in, and you can eventually release him off the team. But these are pretty much, I think, the players that can be edited. I think these are 2020 rosters. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I meant to hit this since I found out he wasn't an edited player. Then I had to move on. It's not too hard to manage this. You're just trying to get it where all the players are editable. Even if it's a player you have drafted, recruited, whatever you want to call it. Then that's fine. You can say that they recruited, and then once you hit, it's easy. That's easy. Just when you recruit, when that year happens, and you take it 4 years from there. Or if you want to say, oh, this guy didn't like it there, he's going to transfer, and you can use the trade option for that. It's kind of like a resource to you can use the trade resource thing to say he transferred. If you want a player to transfer, or a player does transfer in real life, that's the only way you would use the trade thing. Even though it says 7 players for the AA and 14 players for the AAA, that really doesn't matter because you're not playing those games with those teams. You're playing the college games in this mode only. And You can call players up, down, however many times you want per season, I think. Also, if a player is not listed on the roster in here, but he's listed on the real life roster, then you can input him in there and just make it the way you want it. It's real easy to do this. You just go in there, and if it's a player that does not edible, you can either keep him and get rid of him for a certain amount of time. Say he's a player that you say, okay, he was, if we had the recruiting or that he would have put a player I would have recruited, have him play for 4 years and then release him, or just release him now. And have all the players on your roster even though it says 21, 14, 7, 13, it doesn't matter. That adds up to just one roster. So you add the 21 to the 14, 7, and 13, that just makes it one big roster that is spread out to different portions. Alright, so this is one that was done after spring training. It was, I played one game of spring training and simulated the rest of it. That's one team that has been done after spring training. This is another team that has been done after spring training. This is a team that has not been done, period. This was one that I did before spring training. These players, all these players here, right here, are the actual 2021 Oklahoma State roster. All these players are on the Oklahoma State roster for 2021. People do this in football, the NCAA Football 14 game and NCAA Football video series, as well as I'm thinking in basketball as well. So, so that's what it looks like. If you do it in spring training, it looks a whole lot better. It just makes it where some of the players are on the MLB roster and some players are with the minor league team. That doesn't matter because you're not going to be playing those games. You're just going to be playing the teams with this uniform here, the quote-unquote MLB college. It will say MLB, but it's technically college in this instance. So once you, it just says you, the Beaters have placed these guys on waivers. They are not claimed, and they'll go to free agency. Just let them go to free agency. That's what I'm gonna do. So these are the teams you have: Oklahoma State, North Carolina, Florida State, Louisville, Miami, Virginia, A&M, Florida, Vanderbilt, Auburn, Georgia, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Alabama, LSU, Cal State Fullerton, Rice, Coastal Carolina, Michigan, Indiana, Baylor, TCU, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, and I don't know why it says Cincinnati abbreviation for TCU. Even though I did put TCU in the abbreviation when I created the team, I'm pretty sure I did. I don't know why I would have left it as Cincy. They just goofed. Ignore that. When we played the TCU in any way, it won't have the abbreviations. It'll be the MLB Network scoreboard, which does not have abbreviations on that scoreboard. It just has the logos, the text tag, interlocking TT, or the overlapping TT, and the interlocking TC for TCU. Arizona State, Stanford, UCLA, Oregon State, Oklahoma State. Alright, those are the teams in there. Then you can either go at two ways. You can go at the games this way and get them. The only way you can do it without simulating it is this way. This way here. Viewers don't have the minimum of 10 players, pictures on the... okay. Well, they do. The Y is in half X, pitch out, half X, oh. I wonder what that does. Let's see what that did. Oh, okay. Okay. Oops, no. I think you have to have certain... make sure he's an editable player, yeah. No, I don't want that. I want to edit him. There we go. I think all these players are editable players, yeah. Yeah, it's all good. Even if you call him up, it's just basically calling a player that's edited that was in a minor league holding area, if you will, call it that. So that's how you can play it without them simulating. I'll show you what it looks like when you play a team. I'm gonna play this. I'm using minor league stadiums. For the teams, I'll show you that if you come out this way, you won't be able to simulate. It won't simulate the other games, and you can just play as many as you want. Once you play that set amount, you can simulate, or you can just keep on playing until you get done it. Which is whatever you want to do. I think I'll play like 3 games per day, 3 or 2 games per day. It may take a couple of days to do it.
MLB Network's coverage of Major League Baseball is on the air. Opening day is here as we get the news.
Ignore that National League part or National League or MLB debut or MLB Major League hit. Ignore all that when it says that. It's simply because it's in a Major League game, but you're using college teams, so that all the Major League part of it is ignored because it's college baseball. There's no big leagues.
Hectic off-season for the front office and players alike, as the franchise has finally made the move that's been in the works for some time now. There's plenty of
and that made the move is
embrace their new hometown heroes, and you can feel the buzz all over town as fans look for sightings of the players out and about. With the off-season business concluded, though, it is time to settle in for the first season of this new chapter in franchise history.
Yeah, ignore that franchise history part. Basically, it's franchise mode, but it's basically it's basically the reason why it's called franchise mode is because it's an MLB game. If it's a college game, it would be Dynasty mode. So it's basically using franchise mode for Dynasty mode in this game, since there's no new college game. The last college baseball game ever made was NCAA Baseball MVP NCAA Baseball 07. So the other one in 06 and 07. So we'll play this game here. On to the uniforms. You can have them all white, like for Oregon State. You can have where it had the orange sleeves. You can have it all white, or you can leave it as orange sleeves, or in St. Louis for Stanford with the red. The Cardinal jerseys and the white sleeves. You can have it all one color or a two-tone.
He'll be in pretty good shape. At the plate, Austin Kuzmanov. He will lead this one off today.
And nor when it says California, because it's college, it would say.
First pitch of the ball game.
Majority of the time they'll say Beavers and they should say Beavers and Cardinal. But you can just know it's Stanford and Oregon State, the Cardinal and Beavers. Not Cardinals, but Cardinal. I use the minor league stadiums for this simply because it's more true to being similar to the college stadiums. That's why unless you want to do a college, you play some of the minor league stadiums when you do the Shriners for Children's Hospital Classic is a big thing in baseball in Houston. Or you can have a classic tournament game thing at Houston, or basically any stadium, really, Major League Stadium.
And he swings through a fastball and doesn't catch up with it. It's 0-1. Shaping up to be a pretty nice
like the Dodgers Classic, which is a thing in Los Angeles, or the it's called the Shriners Hospital for Children Classic in Houston.
Right fielder giving chase. He's got it. A nice play there. 2 away.
This is how you show you the starting lineups.
Look at the starting lineup for
That's the starting lineup for Stanford.
What do you got on this lineup in the series opener?
On Stanford's main logo. That's a big. That's their actual baseball main. I think their main baseball were one of the main ones. Trevor Story, is he an actual? I don't think Trevor. Yeah, he's a major league player. I haven't updated their roster yet, but I will update their roster. I just was showing you what the uniforms look like and how the college. We have this one. We have, I think, Auburn, Alabama. That was before the players. Before we changed the. Wait. Yeah, that was before we changed the rosters.
From the stretch, here's the pitch. Trevor Story is in with 2 away here as this one swung out.
Fix the rosters.
On its way, the 0-1
so
pitch. Just behind the
this is not the outcome for Stanford because we haven't done Stanford's team yet. The only ones we've done are Oregon State, Oklahoma State, and UNC and UCLA. So I've done 4 out of the 30 teams. So that means I have.
Called strike 3 and the side is retired.
26 rosters left to go. And that includes Stanford.
Brendan Beck is on the mound for the season opener on the road in this one. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
It's not an easy thing to do.
These are Pac-12 teams.
One of the things you have to do is use the positives. The opposing team has never faced you. You can't be afraid to throw the ball into the strike zone. Establish your pitches and try to work quickly.
Striding into the box, Kyle McMahon. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
We just did, this is the roster we just did, Oregon State.
And that's their first of the new campaign. And there's probably no.
Yeah, ignore when it says first Major League hit. Ignore that. That's his first hit of the season in the college baseball.
And as is customary, there's the ball being sent into the dugout. Someone will tuck it away for him to put in his trophy case.
Yeah, good for him.
And ignore that part too.
Listen, he's worked his entire lifetime
If it was big league and Major League teams, then that would be a different scenario, but
on top of the world.
not every team is in there. You can only have 30 teams. If you have the ability to expand to like 36 teams, or I would like to see them have the ability to expand. You can do that in the NBA game when you do this sort of a mode in the NBA 2K.
But he's going to haul this one in on the run as he winds up just shy of the wall for the first out. Chance now to take a look at how the home team lines up in this.
There's Oregon State's lineup.
Against one of the best starters in the game.
Maddie, you take a look at this lineup.
Oh, that's the Beavers logo there. Their secondary or main logo.
It had to be wind day, and when you get in the car to drive to the yard, you tell yourself, even though you felt bad about it, just get 2 or 3. All the pressure's on the big boy to have to execute, and he usually does. Look for this lineup to try and execute and score, manufacture 1 or 2 runs.
That's going to be a double play at the end of the inning, but
first in time, and just like that, this side is retired. An inning in the books, scoreless on MLB Network. Coming to the plate now, Tim Tao, as he'll get his first opportunity in this one.
you can
Fastball down around the knees there, taken for a strike. Time to check our umpires in this one. Behind the plate is
the only 2 I've recorded for this that were the other scoreboard. That would be the show themed scoreboard was Alabama and Auburn, and then the first of the spring training for Oklahoma State. But the regular season ones have been this scoreboard here.
There's a swing and he sends a ball,
and they will still be the scoreboard. Oh my.
It's down, and their first hit of the new campaign is going for extra bases. And he'll get there as he legs out the leadoff triple. And there's
that was close. That was a close play at third.
Has just collected his first hit in the big leagues, and as is customary, there's the ball being sent into the.
There's a foul ball, so he'll stay at third.
Put in his trophy case.
Yeah, good for him, and congratulations. Listen, he's worked his entire
Oregon State, one of the most recent teams to win a College World Series. Nobody won a College World Series last year.
Classic slider down and away for the strikeout there.
So this was the first College World Series and College World Series and champion in NCAA baseball champion in 2 years.
At the plate, Christian Moffitt, as he grounds one briskly to short, and that is through into left field, a base hit. The run comes across
That's a run.
the score, and they jump
And
ahead
who, I say, who won it in 2019? I think it was Oregon won it in 2019.
Not a bad way to get your career started.
Yeah, no doubt, Matty. He took care of the 2 first with 1 swing of the bat. So congrats to him on achieving something that's really special that he's worked so very hard for. He'll never forget this moment as long as he lives.
Okay, so I checked that it was Vanderbilt. So Vanderbilt won in 2019. I think Oregon State won in 2018.
There at the knees for strike one. Moffitt leads off first with one away.
Let me make sure. Yeah, Oregon State won in 2018.
Here comes the 0-1. Hit well on the ground to first. The second for one. On to first as they get the double play.
Double play.
Get him out of the
Who
inning.
won in 2017
so
then?
On 2 base hits, no errors, and no one left. On now to the bottom of the second. The Cardinals are out in front, 1-0. Bottom of the inning now, and that'll bring in the first-year catcher, Troy Clay.
4-1.
Now here's the pitch. Swinging a ball line
So
down in the left field corner.
there was a year in between the two SEC teams winning that. I say 2 years.
Swung on and chopped up.
No, it's a year.
Reined in.
We didn't have a champion
And
last
off Allen's
year.
throw is in time as he takes one away. Wow.
Batting fifth, the first baseman, Ryan Ogle.
Digging in, Ryan Ogle. Ready to deliver.
Coastal Carolina won in 2016.
High fly ball out to straightaway center.
Which they're, I think, a Sun Belt team.
Towle is there. 2 gone.
I know they're Sun Belt in football, but are they a Sun Belt in...
Now with the plate, Jake Dukes.
Second baseman, Jake Dukes.
First pitch of the at-bat.
Are they, yeah, they're in the Sun Belt in baseball as well.
Nope.
He said nope. I don't know if the Stanford's ever won the College World Series. Probably they have.
That was a nasty pitcher's pitch right there.
My guess is you're going to have a surprise team. I'm going to predict who I think is going to make it based off of this season. I think it's going to be Vanderbilt again. Vanderbilt and Oklahoma State will be in the final series. Oklahoma State has a good team this year in real life baseball for college. So does Vanderbilt.
Digging in, Henry.
But I think LSU is also going to go deep this year.
Henry Gallego.
First pitch coming. Here it is.
Oregon State may go deep
This
too.
one high and deep to right center
Speaking of going
field.
deep, that one's going to be almost a home run.
Run by a matter of feet. It's off the wall. At the plate now, Zach Segui.
In college baseball, you have
into foul territory. No one out with a runner at second. Hard hit ball to short.
I don't know why you can't do double flap. The double flap.
Rounds the corner and is headed home.
He gets to this big league.
As they extend their lead to 2. Standing in now, Austin Kuzmanov.
You should be able to change whether it's one flap or two. Because in college they have 2 flaps. Same goes for AAA and AAA minor leagues and AA minor leagues. I think single A minor leagues too. They didn't put the single A teams in there. High A and low A ball teams need to be in there. Actually in the game.
And there's probably no happier person in the ballpark. Austin Kuzmanov has just collected his first hit in the big leagues, and as is customary, there's the ball being sent into the dugout. Someone will
Everybody's roster is 2020 roster with the exception of one team, and that is Oklahoma State. I will update their roster next year. The rosters will be all the same next year, being every roster will be that year's that we're going into Oh, I'm not going to do that this year simply because we're already in the middle of the baseball season, so it'll just stay the same, and except for one team that I decided to choose my favorite team, Oklahoma State, to change. So far, and I'll change the rest of them later. Because they weren't actually in the game. I had taken one team out to put them in there.
Sliding attempt at first, but this sneaks by him, a base hit, and the runner will score from second. And he's in safely at third as 2 runs come across to score away from the play. So now to the plate, Tim Tao, as he takes a called strike at the knees. It's 0-1. He found his way over to third via a triple in his first at-bat.
You're lucky if you get one pitch a night right down the middle. Cannot be late on that fastball.
He's already home here. Line towards center field.
If you want, if you look at the rosters and say, oh, your favorite team's not in there, then you can put your favorite team in there. It's just a guideline to get your to use. You can edit it the way you want it, or you can take it as is, or you can see if you can't find one that has your team roster in it. I used one particular roster I found on the roster vault, and then changed it the way I want it to. So thank you to the person for creating the roster.
On 4 base hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We'll move on to the bottom of inning number 3. California leads it 5-0. Leading off the inning, Richie Massey, and they'll need him to get something going here.
Lots of baseball left in this one as we're still early on, but you don't want to fall too far behind. They're already down by a bundle, and one of the things you want to get on and set the table for the big boys to start driving in some runs.
We got to score 5 runs in this half inning, or not this half inning, in this between now and the end of the game. Second happens, we'll see if Oregon State can score 5. I'm controlling Oregon State, by the way. I have 2 outs, dang it.
At the plate, Preston Jones.
So in college they had DHs for both teams, no matter.
Swing and a miss as he was way in front of that one.
The pitchers weren't bad in college.
He should feel pretty good. He's retired 7 in a row.
Skied into straight
That's going to be an out.
Brewster is there, and it's a very quick inning as the side is retired.
Well, I don't think we only had 1 hit. We've only had 1 hit. They've had 6 hits, 5 runs. We've had no runs, 1 hit. Both have no hit. We both have had no errors.
In there for a called strike.
Stuff has never been a problem with this pitcher. It's execution and location that has always been his bugaboo.
Location. Okay.
I know he's ahead 0-1, but he's finding the heart of the plate way too often.
And a change.
Whoa, we got him to swing at a bad pitch.
Boy, there's the perfect pitch right there, the straight changeup. He hadn't used it yet in this at-bat, and what does he do? He uses it, pulls the string, and gets the big strikeout.
In now, Adam Campos. As he pops the first pitch foul behind the plate. Comes into this at-bat 0 for 1 in the ballgame.
If you're asking, well, what's on their, what's the patch on their jersey?
Popped up over to his left. He's got it.
If you notice, they have had a special patch on their jersey.
Ready for another chance.
That says 24.
Gallegos. He'll try to follow up the
who's that for? And
with another big hit right here. Sent on the ground out to
that's Kobe Bryant.
And this will get through
the press to honor Kobe Bryant.
They've gotten their hits in deep counts. They've gotten their hits in early
since he
counts.
It was for a team in California, NBA team in California. Why in baseball? Because he's a university. It's a university in California, Stanford. You're not gonna be able to get him out. He's gonna have to score a run.
He's one rookie that's not afraid of the moment. That's his second knock of the game. This one a double, and he looks like the type of player that knows he belongs.
Austin Kuzmanov is next as he finds himself behind 0-1. Fastball taken, but that gets the zone for a strike.
Well, you can see he's coming right at this guy, just pounding the ball in the strike zone. He certainly has the advantage now. This guy hasn't even swung the bat yet.
Slow little roller to third. Throw on to first gets him, and the side is retired. Well, the run will score in the inning on this RBI double. Bottom of the fourth coming up. California is out in front 6-0.
3:35 to left.
Digging in to try it again, Kyle McMahon. He starts the inning, and Dan, they're down 6 in the early going. So what do they need to do to claw back into this thing?
Well,
That's the first base hit in a while.
Base runners. It's hard to be patient when you're down by 6, but base runners are the key to getting back into this one. You take a look at the numbers up to this point. You see he's only given up 2 hits so far today, so he's been hitting his spots all game long. Remains to be seen if he can keep that shutout attack going forward.
Oops, should have swung at that one. That would have been a good pitch to hit. I would have bet probably with.
It's 0-1.
Hold on a second, I need to pause. Oops, don't know what that was about. Why the video started playing on my phone. Do apologize for that.
Good speed at first and good speed with the guy at the dish. Going to be tough to double up these guys. If you're an infielder, got to get rid of it quick.
Pulls this one in the air.
Has to be out.
Gallegos has him played perfectly.
I probably should have tabbed up and gotten that guy in a second, but didn't.
First offering on its way. Well hit, but also well fouled into
That's
the
foul
seats in left.
He was absolutely all over that fastball.
Somebody's gonna have a souvenir.
Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss here, and he's behind in the count now, 0-2.
Hey, from a pitcher's standpoint, sometimes the greatest pitch is the slider that backs up. He got away with that one, but he wants that thing to bury down the way.
Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch, 2 away.
Well, Oregon State needs to get something going here as we have a runner at first, 2 out, and no score here.
Takes strike 1 on the fastball, registering at 93 that time.
I probably should have swung that one.
This quality, throw one right down the middle, and man, as a hitter, probably a good chance you're not going to see that pitch.
That's a base hit.
And that finds its way through.
Gonna leave it as a single because we have 2 outs. We don't want to waste this inning not getting any runs. So if it's a base hit, we'll just leave it as a base hit.
Into center field, line drive base hit.
The next base hit should score a run, so it'll be good.
Runner at third base.
Not gonna take any chances.
And there's probably no happier person in the ballpark. Ryan Ogle has just collected his first hit in the big leagues. And
first hit of the season, actually.
There's the ball being sent into the dugout. Someone will tuck it away for him to put in his trophy case.
Yeah, that's not going to be the case, I guess. Not, because it's college baseball.
And he's obviously trying to play cool right now, but you can bet inside his head, he's on.
Yeah, we had this guy. I don't know if this guy's had a bat this game or not. Apparently, the guy at first hasn't.
Hard hit to first.
That'll score a run.
Tries to get to the backhand, but it gets on by. Oh, but it's offline. So
I'm not gonna risk it. I could have scored.
Always say first things first, right? You can't make the throw if you don't have the ball in your hand. Looked like he was eyeing the runner, and the ball went right by him. An error, and a run scored as the result.
Finally, I scored a run.
Base is full now following the error, and that'll give way to the third baseman, Richie Massey. Hoping to limit the damage. Here's the pitch. And he sends it the other way.
That's gonna be the inning, but at least we score a run. We got now down to 5 runs.
So 1 run on 3 hits.
Let the bases loaded. That was not what we wanted, but okay.
On to the top of inning number 5 we go. The Cardinals lead this one 6-1. Digging in once again, Nick Brewster. No hits in
Says Cardinals, but Cardinal.
Brewster.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Blade square, and this is popped up, and he'll lunge forward to make the
That's
catch
first out.
on the first out.
Now batting.
So one away here with the bases in.
If we had
Next, the power hitting shortstop Trevor
no outs and we had a hit to the deep part of the field, we would probably stretch it to 2.
Lots of hits given up.
We didn't want to risk getting out inning without scoring a run.
Problem is, they haven't had to work too hard.
hit in the air out to center field.
No.
Gets down out near the wall and should be extra bases. Around second now, and they still haven't flagged this one down. Story takes the turn at third. He wants it all.
I don't know why we took that our sweet time on that, but anyway.
The fans are not happy, and I can't blame them. And inside the Parker on that hit, there's simply no excuse for that. And everyone in the ballpark knows it. We'll see if he can shake it off and get out of the top half of this inning.
Good fastball as he gets the swing.
Now we're down. Now it's back up to 6.
90s fastballs in your
Whoa! Look out!
This is where you got to take a deep breath and pot commit. You're either all in on another.
There we go. Strike 3. Strike him out.
In a way to stay back to attack something off.
There we go. That comes back to get the second out of the inning.
Becomes the second out here in inning.
There we go. Finally ends the inning. So we had a strikeout, pop out, line out. That's how the inning went.
Hit, which was the home run. No errors and no one left. Last half of the fifth coming up.
We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. 7-1 Stanford over Oregon State.
So stepping in, Joe Casey. He flew out in his last at-bat.
This one doesn't look good so far. Down by a boatload as we enter the middle innings. It's about time they get something going. And the last thing you want to do is fall behind where you have to score a bunch in the 8th and 9th.
Oh, if it was a little bit more over to second base, I think I would have been able to get on. He would have been able to get on base.
Fastball well outside. Jones, a Venezuelan-born ball player. He's in his rookie year here at the big league level.
Yeah, ignore that part. The rookie at the big league level.
To short, hit hard. Story brings it in. On to first, and very quickly, 2 are gone in the home 5th. So the lineup flips over, and digging in, Kyle McMahon. A couple of singles to his credit thus far.
That's gotta be a base hit. Nope.
Right center field. And he'll get there in plenty of time to
that won't be good for cut into our the deficit.
Standing in, Christian Moffitt. There's a
Moffitt, that's an interesting name.
Christian Moffitt.
Fouled away. Oh, a fastball swung on and missed, and for the second time today, he's gone on strikes. Didn't mess around much in that at-bat, Dan.
No, that was pretty impressive, man. I really like a pitcher that trusts and works off his fastball. And right there, he decided he didn't need to use anything else. 3 straight heaters and go grab some bench.
Looking to put him away. Here's the 0-2.
There we go. Strike 3. Strike him out. Strike out the first 2 players he's faced this inning.
His 8th punch out of the ballgame.
If this doesn't boost your confidence on the mound, I'm not sure what does. That's 6 pitches and 2 strikeouts in the inning, and that was a really nice fastball for the punch out on that one. Man, that's 7 straight strikes to start this inning. He's got a chance at an immaculate inning.
Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here. And he's got himself another one as he picks up strikeout number 9 here, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts. Not
yep, 3 up, 3 down, 3
More
strikeouts.
baseball on MLB Network right after this. Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and next will be a speed threat in the form of outfielder Micah McDowell. Swung on and lifted.
That should be a double.
And should be extra bases.
It is.
And he will get in there with his first big league hit, a double.
Okay. The first double of the game for him.
Micah McDowell has just collected his first hit in the big leagues, and as is customary, there's the ball being sent into the dugout.
Yeah, alright.
Tuck it away for him to put in his trophy case.
Yeah, good for
Let's
him.
see here.
Congratulations. Listen, he's worked his entire lifetime for this moment, and
Foul.
he's obviously trying to play it cool right now.
The
You can bet inside
bullpen
his
is
head, he's on top of the world.
on the field, huh? That's rare.
Trying to send him packing for the second time.
Oh, shoot.
This is swung on and missed, and boy, they took care of a key man there.
As I shouldn't have swung that one.
Next will be the cleanup.
One, it was too light, and two, it was too high.
2 on his line so far in the game. First pitch of the at-bat. Smoke on the ground up the middle. Throw in time at first.
At least that moves the runner up to third. That's good. Now we just need a base hit to get this guy in.
He singled his last time up. He's set. Here it comes. 2 outs here with a runner at third.
That would have been a strike no matter what if I had swung on it.
Barely able to make contact. Down 0-2 now. A swing and a miss as he's chased with 2 strikes.
Well, that leaves the runner at third. That's not what I wanted.
All set for the start of the inning, and standing in as the rookie third baseman, Zach.
Well, we need another run. We've only had 1 run so far.
Now the pitch. And he pumps the fastball by him at 94. It's 0-2. Line to the right side. And a base hit, so the leadoff man is on to begin the inning.
Yeah, Matty, I mean the numbers.
Pat kept it to a single. That way we can have a double play.
Including that last one, and he's having a hard time getting out of any trouble. They might be buying some time to let the relievers get a few more pitches in before they give him the hook.
Count even now at 1-1.
Yeah, we'll get a reliever going here right now.
2 strikes now. Nobody out, runner on first. And he fouls this one off. Now a fastball.
No, that's not what I wanted.
But he doesn't get the call. It's 2-2 now.
Man, this guy's a grinder. Fouls off good pitches and doesn't seem to swing at the ones just off.
There we go, double play.
This guy's a pitcher's nightmare.
On to first to complete the double play.
Boy, that's about as easy as it comes. A chopper, 2-hopper turns into a tailor-made 4-6-3 double play.
So base is empty now after the double play. And at the plate will be the speedy outfielder, Nick Brewster.
Brewster, that's an interesting name.
Hey, with 2 outs in the number 2 hole, you're just trying to get on. You got the big boys coming up behind you.
Throw in time, and the side is retired.
That keeps that inning short. Sweet.
7th inning stretch time here at the ballpark.
7th inning stretch. From the 7th inning we go. 7-1 Stanford leads Oregon State.
Now at the plate, Jake Dukes. He comes in 0 for 2 thus far.
It doesn't look very promising so far in this.
Oh, that's a broken bat.
The later innings, down by
Look out, that almost hit somebody.
To get some base runners and hopefully a long ball to get them back into this one.
Is there wood bats? I think where you can select the metal bat, aluminum bats. If you wanted to play with aluminum bats.
Another one fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
And double flap helmets. Yeah, that's what you need to have, be able to have a selection of. And the shoot.
He offered it a ball way outside the strike zone for out number 2.
Probably shouldn't have swung at that. That was way too high on the.
That's lifted the other way out to left.
That's going to be an out at end of the inning.
Gallegos is there, and they go down in a
They go to the
hurry
top of the
here.
8th inning, still 7-1 Stanford. Doesn't look like a comeback for the Beavers today.
New inning set to get underway, and coming forward now is the shortstop, Trevor Story. First pitch on its way. Now a swing and a fly ball. And it's a foul ball. A little quick on that swing, and he finds himself
Up
behind.
into the dugout goes.
Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. Another one.
Excuse me.
Foul. And he struck him out. The 10th victim set down on strikes thus far. Striding in once again, Tim Tao. He got called out on strikes his last time through.
You don't see too many guys at this level be late on off-speed pitches right there. That tells me he was totally sitting on something else.
Yeah, that's a first. That's a hit. That's a single.
Into the box now.
I needed to keep this at a 7-1 game so that at least we can have at least a shot at trying to cut into the deficit in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Nope, that's not
The
gonna.
line in fair, that's a hit. The throw to third, and he's safe.
I like without.
Probably no happier person in the ballpark. Carson Green has just collected his first hit in the big leagues, and as is customary, there's the ball being sent into the
Oh, I
dugout.
missed that one. That's
Someone
going
will
to
tuck it
score
away for him to
at least a run.
Yeah,
And that's all it's going to do is
stay
just score a
focused on
run.
the game when the score is this far out of hand, especially when you're on
I
the
think we need to
losing
bring in
side.
the
Even as broadcasters,
bullpen guy
it can be a
as
little
soon
bit
as
challenging to stay focused
we're
on the man. It's not easy to continue pounding the strike zone.
done with it at bat for him.
Hits, but he has to trust that getting the ball down in the zone will get him an out.
hit in the air to center field.
I'm just going to let this guy come in and grab it, and then we have to throw it in as quick as we can. It's going to be offline. He'll score a run.
4 on the sacrifice fly.
That will do it. Our starter is done.
So digging in now, Henry Gallegos. Earl Cardenas comes on to pitch now, hoping for better results than the other arms that they've run out there in this one.
We've only had the starter in there, and this is the only bullpen guy we've actually had warm up and come in there.
From the stretch. And he starts the number 8 hitter with a strike, nothing in 1. 2 out here and a runner at second. Hit out towards second. Fielded cleanly. And not too shabby out of the pen. Takes just 2 pitches to get the ground ball, and that ends the inning. So it's 2 runs.
Well, let's see if we can't cut this to this 8-run deficit.
Preston Jones. We're in the 8th now, and nothing's changed out there on the mound.
No, that's not what I want. That was definitely I shouldn't have swung at that one.
And it's hard to know.
I know I
if it's
shouldn't
gonna
have.
be effect, but getting that early lead from this offense could have really helped settle.
Well, I got away with that one. I shouldn't have swung at that one either. Those two definitely were out of the zone. We've had 0-2, or 2-0, instead of 0-2.
And on 0-2, he misses with a fastball.
Well, there's the classic 0-2 wasted fastball. Not even close to the zone. We'll see what he throws on the next pitch.
See if we can't let this guy.
And here's a slider. Strike 3 called, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
That's what you
Well, that's not what I wanted, but I probably could have.
Locked up the hitter. Didn't fool the umpire though.
Swing.
Drive snagged on a short hop on to first, and there were 2 down.
But I didn't.
Ready once again.
I think we'll lose this one.
They're quickly down to their final 4 outs here tonight.
Yeah, down to our final 4 outs. Well, that's going to be a big hit.
Base hit, his second of the ball game.
At least the next batter.
Ground ball. Pitcher not able to get a glove on it. Hard single up the middle.
Yeah, watch your lips right there, Dan. Sent it back right where it came from.
Okay, we'll see what happens here.
At the plate, Andy Armstrong, as he pops the first
Foul.
pitch foul behind the plate. He could really use it
This,
here, 0 for 3 in the
we
game
need
so far.
something to happen here. He struck out in the 6th. He's 0 for 3.
Hit hard on the ground is short.
Yeah, it's gonna end the inning.
Scoops it up, and 8 innings have come and gone.
Had
now
the fourth
as
out in
inning
second.
is over.
That's a doozy.
Stepping in,
Hell, let's just try to get this.
Zach Seguin. He'll lead things off as they look to perhaps build on an already sizable lead. Here comes the 0-1. This is swung on and lifted down the left field line, but it'll get back into the crowd as he jumps ahead of him now. 0-2. And that's a swinging strike 3 in the dirt. Clay finds it. Throw to first is in time. 1 down. Now back to the top of the
Swing straight in the dirt on the white. That's just the rule.
For the game. In there, no balls and a strike. And it's quickly 0-2. Looked like the cut fastball there, and he got him to swing through it for the second out.
Well, just needs to strike out this guy to at least give them one more chance at it to score 8 runs in 1 inning.
Down and in here, 1 ball, no
Yeah,
strike.
8 runs in 1 inning. Don't see likely a comeback, but stranger things have happened.
Lofted in the air out toward right center. And this is into the alley and ought to be good for extra bases.
It's only going to be a double.
And he will get in there with his first big league hit, a double.
Because we got back in quickly.
His line so far, 2 for 4, but the hits are a home run.
Luckily, it was only a double.
Waved at and missed, and he's behind 0-2.
That's not a pitch he misses very often. He knows he should have done something with that one.
Fouled off. Runner in scoring position at second with 2 down. And
there he goes.
3, so we'll see now if they can manage to hold on to this huge lead as the side is retired. Danger averted following the 2-out double.
We'll see what happens if we can come back and score 9 runs, or at least a minimum of 8 runs and 4 extras.
Ready for another shot now.
Or will it end in regulation and lose 9-1 or something? I don't know.
Come back in this one.
Yeah, not a lot of hope for them at this point. These guys know these bats still count, at least for their own stats.
Yeah, they gotta.
Line to the right side, and that's a base hit, so the pressure's on to open up the inning.
I know the score's out of hand right here, but I've never met a big league ball player that's going to give away an at-bat in any...
We are not going to go down without at least trying to come back. We may still lose this game, but we are not going to go down without at least trying to come back. Got 2 on.
This has got to be the opportunity they've been looking for right here. They've had a ton of hits, a ton of people on base, but no one has been able to come up with that big knock.
Well, you know what, Dero, this pitch is kind of worked around.
We'll let that one go for a ball.
So far, another inning brewing right here. Let's see if they can't get a big hit here, right here, and bust through in this one.
He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point. Here it comes, 1-0. Well above the letters with the fastball that time.
Hey, time to start making some quality pitches. He finds himself in a tough spot behind an account with guys on base.
Yep. I like to see this guy walk, but he has to get 2 more balls. Yeah, I'll let that one go for a strike. I probably should have swung at that one, but didn't know it was going to be a strike until it was too late.
That ball had to nip the corner for him not to pull the trigger on it.
One more walk and 1 more ball, and he'll walk him. Probably go to full count before that, or it may go to a walk now.
And it's up to a 3-2 full count now.
I'm going to attempt to try to swing at this one.
Didn't love the location.
We may.
I think he's got him on his heels right now. Don't be shocked if he attacks the zone again.
And this will be fouled away. Another full count pitch home. And I don't think that's what he wanted to do.
All right, well, that's what we wanted.
Still nobody out.
That's a big no-no. He obviously had to work carefully with
We
two
walked
men on,
him.
but he did not want to walk him to load the
Walk it,
bases.
walk it, walk it.
Now he's really got his work cut out for him. We'll see how he fares here.
Stepping in, Richie Massey. First pitch coming. Here it is.
That looked like a ball, but okay.
So important getting ahead with the bases
Yeah, that
loaded.
blow is so close to being a ball.
Situation, so you don't want to make it any harder by falling behind in the count.
Comes set
Well,
with the
that was
0-1.
so close to being a ball.
Blooper to center. Here's the center fielder. He can't
That'll
get
score a
there as
run.
it falls in.
We're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna be just taking it one thing at a time. We're gonna take it slow but surely.
And this is pretty cool, guys. Not only is that his first big league hit, it's also his first major league RBI. Not a bad way
First
to get
RBI?
his career started.
Yeah, no doubt, Matty. He took care of the two first with one swing of the bat. So
And that
congrats to him on
was
achieving
only the
something
first
that's
out.
Really special that he's worked so very hard for. He'll never forget this moment.
We got two guys warming the
the
bullpen for Stanford.
Plate Preston Jones. And this is on the ground to
That should be the ball game.
To second for one. On to first, and he rolls a double play ball.
Well, we
And here is this ball game is
didn't
over.
lose by 8. I lost by 7, but
That's what we call finishing strong.
A 9-2
had a
finish
chance
at
to
the
come
end of this
back.
contest. The Cardinals took the lead in the second inning and rode that until the very end. Brendan Beck earns his first win of the season as he turns in 8 strong innings of work. Christian Chamberlain struck out 10 in the losing effort. So that's a wrap for us in this one. Mark DeRosa, Dan Plezak, Heidi Watney, Matt Vasgersian. We all thank you for watching Major League Baseball on MLB Network. See you next time.
we'll see what happens. So Oregon State improves to 0-1. Or sorry, Oregon State falls to 0-1. Stanford improves to 1-0.
Victorious visiting team, 9 runs, 14 hits, 1 error. They left 4 men on base. For the home team, 2 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They left 9 runners on base.
We left 9 runners on base.
3 hours and 34 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon.
We left 9 runners on base. That's not good. Well, that'll do it for me. Until next time, keep on YouTube, everybody. We'll see y'all next time.